Hi there! I'm so excited that you've decided to take this journey with me and create a beautiful bouquet out of budget-friendly flowers that I picked up while I was at the grocery store. That's the easy part, right? And you think, now it's going to be hard to design. Well, with my tips and my techniques and this step-by-step process, it's going to be so easy and you're going to love it, and then everyone's going to think you're absolutely amazing and you're going to have a house full of flowers. What's better than that? So let's start with a vase that has some crystals in the bottom of it. Or filled about halfway full with crystals. That way, that's going to hold our stems in place. That's one of the biggest things, is the stems moving around, right? So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to separate my flowers, kind of spread them out, almost like when they're bunched up, you kind of roll them out so you can see what you got to work with. And I'm going to start with my hydrangea. And the tip here is your larger flowers. Start with your larger flowers, more like kind of your large round type flowers. And I am cutting the stem. And hydrangeas, I do a little bit of a different technique where I shave off the bottom of the stem and cut through the center. And that right there is just going to be, keep your hydrangeas nice and hydrated. And then I'm going to put him at the base of my bouquet. So he is sitting at the base of the vase there. Base of the vase, we're rhyming, but we're going to make sure that no greenery is within the water, and we're going to have him kind of sit right on top. I have another flower here that's nice and big and full, and it's a chrysanthemum. And they stand for loyalty, longevity, and I just find them so joyful. So I'm going to cut my stem, and I'm going to insert all of my stems at an angle and at different heights. What does that mean? Okay, if I put, let's say if this is the north and I put one on the north, put a stem on the north side, I'm going to put one on the south side, and then I'm going to go to the east, and then I'm going to go to the west, and then sometimes I'm going to put some in the middle as well. So it's really important that you do these little tips where if I'm putting a flower in on this side, I'm angling it where the stem is over here. So flower goes in here, stem is there. Flower goes in here, stem is over here. That way I'm almost creating like a grid, a teepee type grid at the inside my vase through the pebbles, and that's going to really hold those stems in place. Okay, I have a couple carnations, and I have a red carnation here, and like I said, I've put this guy over on this side, so I'm going to go on the opposite side and angle him this way. Now, not only size of flowers, but also color you want to keep in mind. I've got two red carnations, so I'm going to do my two red carnations at the same time, and I would not put him over here as well. I would put him somewhere else to balance my red. It's so easy. Can you see how easy this is to just mix up your colors and kind of use the compass theory of north and then south and then east and then west. And we're just alternating where we are putting our flowers. And I'm doing all of my bigger rounded flowers to start with. And this is a red Sweet William, which is so sweet and pretty. And so I've got north, and then I actually kind of got south. I have east and west. And I've got red in two spots here, so I'm going to go over on this side and put red. And I'm going to find the other one of those if I have one, and I don't. Like I said, so what we're doing is we're starting with our larger flowers first. We're alternating where we're putting them, and we're putting them at different heights. And I can't tell you how important that is. I have a tall stem, and I call it tall like a line flower because you see how it's more, instead of being fluffy and round, it's more of a linear type flower. I'm going to take off his greenery. Never put the greenery in, have the greenery leaves in the water. That's going to make your water not good. I'm going to put him more in the center. So tall line flowers, more in the center. and making sure he stays where look how he stays. Isn't that awesome? It's because of the crystals, the pebbles. You need something to hold your flowers in place, and there's no better way than pebbles, that's for sure. And I have one other of these. So of course I'm not going to go on the same side. If I consider that east, then I'm going to go on the west, and I'm not going to go at the same height. So I wouldn't put that directly at the same height. It would either go up or below it. And in this case, I'm going to go below it. And I cut my stem, and I'm going to angle it, right? So it's at an angle. And it gets really fun because the more stems you add, the more different angles you can get, because the stems are actually holding your flowers in place. I have used all of my larger flowers. I've used my line flowers, and now I've got some fun things. I have the spray mums. Now, spray mums are a typical grocery store flower. I'm going to take off all of the leaves, because if you've done this before, you know the leaves wilt very quickly. I'm going to cut off, trim off any, like this was just a sprout with no, it's almost like the heads fell off, so that's fine. And spray mums, I tend to put those lower than, kind of in between, like lower than any of my flowers, and more in the center, because we really want our bigger flowers to be the focal point. And these are wonderful accents. Like, we need these. They play a supporting role. They're not the star of the show, but they sure do add a lot. Again, I'm trimming off anything, any of the leaves and any of the little heads that are starting to fall off. And I put him over here to my northeast. So now I'm going to go southwest with my other stem. And don't stress about it, because guess what? When you add one flower, the next flower can totally change the look. And you can always just improve the look by adding flowers in different directions. I've got one, do I have more? I have two more of these. So I went northeast, I went southwest. So now let's go over here to our southeast direction. And again, I'm putting all of these more low and kind of softening the stems of my bigger focal flowers, my bigger, larger flowers. Here's one more of my spray mums, taking off my leaves, taking off any little bits that are not necessary, stems without blooms. We call those Morticia stems, right? Where the little head's off for some reason. And see how beautiful he is? Now him, I actually am going to soften the edge of my vase. I have a beautiful hydrangea here at the lip of the vase. Now I'm going to take some of these little guys and tuck them down there. Just a few. So don't think that you have to just use this as one whole stem. You can actually use it as maybe 5 to 7 stems. So I'm putting those kind of at the base. So I'm just getting more color. I'm creating all of this. Remember how it started out as all one height, and now I have all these cool different levels going on, and I have different textures, and every flower has its own space. I don't want any flower to be touching another flower. I want every flower, just like us as people, we like to have our own air and our own space, right? Okay, I'm adding those. You see how all the way around it's starting to look really good? I feel like, and I start to look at it and I think, well, gosh, where is a space? Where is there a place I could put something? Well, I have white here, here, and here, so I feel like I could probably use some white over here. You see how fun that is? You can just kind of mix it up. I have these cute little white, they're called micro daisies. They are so sweet. They're just like little baby daisies. I'm going to take off the greenery. And since I have all this white going here, I'm going to add a little bit over here. Just creating another new location for color, another new opportunity for color. And those smell really good. That's the other good thing fun thing about taking off greenery, is that it is very fragrant. It releases the oils from the plant, and it smells so nice. Okay, and I've got another one here. Do you all see how easy this is now? But what a difference it makes to have things at different heights. Gosh, this is gorgeous. This is from Australia. It's called a Safari Sunset. So beautiful. And since he's more of a line flower, I'm putting him more towards the center. Remember, line flowers go more towards the center. And he is very elegant and very beautiful, standing on his own there. I have what this is actually a carnation called Green Trick. Almost looks like moss. And he's going to play a supporting role. I'm going to go lower with him and tuck him in on the opposite side of my green hydrangea here. My big green fluffy flower, so I'm going to go on the opposite. Since he's a green fluffy flower, I'm going to go on the opposite. Use your compass to go different directions. And last but not least, I've got a few things here. This is one of the last things I add, and I suggest to add, and it's what we call filler flowers. It's just little delicate flowers that don't say a lot on their own, but you'd almost picture them in a field, just a wildflower field or just on the side of the road. And instead of taking this whole stem and putting the whole stem in, I'm going to actually cut the little segments here. So like I'm taking this one here. Wherever there's a little branch that comes off, I'm cutting those off. And so I'm taking my nice long stem, the longest, and I'm going to put him here. Again, I'm looking for a space, a place where he can have his own little identity and is not going to overshadow any flowers. And because that was more on the north, then I'm headed towards the south, the southeast, the southwest, the northwest. So we've got little bits, and now we have that one piece of wildflowers, and now we actually have like 3 or 4 pieces of wildflowers just dotting the arrangement and softening everything. And our final step is the greenery, and I have winter greens here because we're in winter. And again, instead of just cramming this whole stem in there, I'm going to break it into 2 or 3 different pieces. I'm always going to make sure that the greenery is off the bottom of the stem, and I'm going to be, again, working on softening the edges of my vase. And these pieces are going to go angling outwards and towards the edge of the bouquet, radiating away from the center of the bouquet, and just adding, if this one almost looks like a line, and because it has that line quality, I actually am going to put him in here in the middle. And I think I've gotten 4 or 5 breaks out of this, and I'm loving that. And I just think this is so cool. My last piece. And don't forget to stand back and look and see what you think. Oh my gosh, completely different. Here we go. Look at this beautiful bouquet that has so much character, so much uniqueness, has all of this love, and it's magical and gorgeous. And you did it on a budget, just with bringing home a bouquet while you went shopping. Do you see how easy this could be? Isn't this awesome? So much fun. Please go to my Instagram and show me your bouquet that you made from grocery store flowers. Be sure to include a before and an after picture. And if you do that, I will enter you into a drawing, and I have a winner every week where you get a free gift. So please do that. It's going to be so much fun to share those. Now, if you love this and you want to find out more and you want to work with me some more, which I would absolutely love, then let's work together and you can register for my online course right here. Thank you so much. Happy designing and have a wonderful day.